Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another edition of Cheese Compilation! This is going to be the third one. We're going to start off with BD Blaffy and KB Kevin here on Habitation Station. In the top left side of the map, we have the red Protoss player. It is BD Blaffy. And in the top right side of the map, we have the blue Terran player. It is KB Kevin. Woo! So again, this is just a compilation of different cheesy replays sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com with the subject of cheese. I did have to run them through a couple screeners this time because I got so many. I couldn't cast all of them, but the ones that are cast here did make the cut as being wonderful examples of cheese at all levels of StarCraft 2. Some of them are higher level than others. Some of them are low level, I know. If I could do just a GM compilation or GM Pro compilation of cheese and cast that, I would. I just don't have enough of those to make it happen. So this is going to be Into the Void, Midrank Madness, Masters level, GM. I mean, we're going to see some good stuff here absolutely today from everybody involved. Everyone involved. So who's the cheeser is the question. They're both sending workers out, and they both started building stuff inside their own bases. So it doesn't look like any major proxy stuff going on, at least not in the early bit. Also, I do also want to reinvigorate, bring back, renew Day 9's Fun Day Monday concept. I want to go ahead and start casting some stuff, as we do have a couple proxy barracks over here by the Terran player right next to the red Protoss base in this gold area. So Fun Day Monday. So what I'm looking at for this first Fun Day Monday ever on my channel, I'll have to come up with a different name, but you get the idea, is I want you to play games using only Vikings. You can make workers, you can make buildings, you can make turrets and planetary fortresses, but the only attacking unit you can build is going to be Vikings. That's it. I just want to see how they do, especially with the buff to mechanical units from their ground attack. So if you want to play something like that in a lower level game or a higher level game, I don't care. I don't care what level it is. Send it over to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com with the subject of Fun Day. And we'll get that going. So, wow, a lot of fun stuff going on today. All right, so meanwhile, fun stuff. We have barracks lifting off and landing inside BD Blaffy's base. Oh, no, BD Blaffy. He can't see this. There's no way he can see this. Buildings have terrible vision range. Well, not as bad as when they're constructing, but still pretty bad. Did that probe get any information out of what is going on over here? Not, I mean, didn't see. He's looking for the proxies, but they're inside your own base. Oh, no. Oh no, BD Blaffy, they're inside your own base. KB Kevin, he might have this thing. Is there a mothership core coming in? Tell me there's at least a mothership core coming up. No. We have Zealots. We have Zealots in production. Getting Warp Gate research as well with a single assimilator. So one base in it, which is generally not bad, but holy crap, he's like going 5 racks Marine inside the Protoss base. And the funny thing is, he could probably have done this just by walking across the map, considering this is not walled off for BD Blaffy, but I suppose it's a lot more fun to put your barracks inside your opponent's base. Can he see any of these barracks? He can. He could see one of them just barely. BD Blaffy. Oh, he notices. He notices almost right away, and then he sees more and says, oh, crikey, everyone come back. Come back. We have an adept. We have a couple zealots. It's going to be adept and a couple zealots against a bunch of Marines here. You have to micro the Marines or you're in a lot of trouble right now, KB Kevin. You have to micro, but no, he's not microing. He's letting the zealots hack them right to pieces. Right to pieces. Bam! Taken out immediately. Marine comes out, says, welcome to your death, and that's it. No! Why? BD Blaffy left? BD Blaffy left the game after holding that pretty well. Pretty well, I thought. He almost has Warp Gate research up. He did stop building units, which is a problem. He has a mothership core that just popped. Like, that's the popping in animation. Could use Photon Overcharge. Could have held this, BD Blaffy. You could have done it. But we'll definitely count this as cheese for sure. So excellent idea there, KB Kevin. A pro tip from Falcon Paladin: if you're doing this with Marines, you got to stutter step. You got to attack, move back, attack, move back, attack, move back to get rid of those zealots. Maybe go back here. So your Marines are also attacking probes at the same time. But either way, wow, he is super oversaturated. What do you got? 27 workers on one base? Jeez. And one assimilator, too. That's a lot of probes. All right, so anyway, this is clearly low level. But again, the proxy barracks inside your base is how we start this thing off. So let's wrap that up and get into game number 2 in just a second. Welcome back to the Cheese Compilation of Falcon Paladin. This is number 3 of 2017. And here we are with SO, Micron, and Big Black on Daybreak, the latter edition. In the top right side of Daybreak, we have the red Protoss player. It is Big Black. On the other side of things, we have a Terran player who is currently floating his command center over to the Protoss player's base. In the bottom left, but quickly departing, is the blue Terran player, SO Micron. What is this? This is like the weirdest of all time planetary fortress rushes I've ever seen in my entire life. You need to actually have an engineering bay and some gas to planetary fortress rush. So I don't know. I don't know what this is. Is it just a straight up worker rush? Is that what we're looking at here? Worker rush coming in, and then the command center is going to provide, like maybe provide mental degradation to your opponent, intimidation to your opponent. Here we go. Oh, good pull. Good pull by Big Black, recognizing, all right, we've got to do this thing right. Got to get a nice surround, good surround there. Some of the SCVs are not actually attacking. I feel like the probes might have this thing. And is anybody dying here? I'm trying to take a look. I don't see many explosions. There's an explosion. Only one probe died in all that. Make it two. Make it 2 probes that died in all that. The probes can regenerate health once they're not in combat. I'm not sure they actually got out of combat there, to be honest. Man, the micro here is absolutely nuts. Trying to move back. The wounded ones, no, probes are dying pretty quickly. SCVs in straight-up fights are going to win. The reason probes don't win those generally is because they can, again, regenerate health while the SCVs cannot. They are auto-repairing each other, though. Is he out? He's almost out of minerals. Oh, SCV player's going to win this thing. And there we go, landing his command center over there at the natural base of Big Black's side of the map here. And just trying to get back in here so we can mine enough money to get a couple zealots right now. That's what we're looking at from the Protoss player. But the SCV is getting a trap. Run! Run, probes! Get out of there. No. Don't attack. Just get out. Run for your life and not get... Nope. All the probes are gone. SCV's won that handily. A zealot trying to do what he can against the innumerable horde. He does get a couple kills. He does get... Oh, he gets murdered is what happens. He gets murdered by the SCVs. This is a Terran win, if there ever was one. Woo, just a straight-up SCV rush, but brought his command center along with. I don't entirely understand the intent there, unless he's planning on reinforcing his units with more SCVs as time went on, if necessary. I suppose that could have been a thing. Another zealot comes out, but no, the pylon is gone. There's not enough money for anything left. Protoss player can't even make another probe, sadly for him. And zealot going to die with 5 kills to his name, maybe getting another one. 6 kills to his name, and dude, there it is. There it is. He gone. He gone. Protoss player has nothing left. Couple buildings here. They're unable to build anything else, though. Only 2 SCVs for SO Micron, and that's it. Big Black is defeated, and SO Micron is victorious. So basically just a worker rush. But again, we did see the importance of micro. We saw the auto repair used by SO Micron. And in the end, it was just, I feel like the Protoss player could have done a better job moving his probes back to help them regenerate shields and then bring them back into the fray. But as it stood, not bad. Not bad on both sides. Only a couple SCVs left here for the Terran player, but he gets the win anyway. Counts as a win just as much as a 30-minute macro game does. So we'll wrap this one up and be back in with our next one in just a second. Welcome back, StarCraft fans. This is going to be Vito Corleone versus NJC on Newkirk Precinct. In the bottom right side of the map, we have the red Zerg player. It is NJC. And in the bottom left side of the map, we have the blue Protoss player. It is Vito Corleone, which is from the Godfather movies. Never actually seen them, but I recognize names, and that's pretty much it. Again, very friendly is Vito Corleone. Sometimes the chatty ones are the cheesy ones. So we will see if that's what we get out of Vito Corleone. He does have a single pylon up. He could follow that up with a forge and be cannon rushing this Zerg player. Yeah. And JC says, sorry about Frito being a bloop and all. Yep, that is referring to the Godfather movies for sure. I know small details. I don't know everything, but that makes a lot of sense. What is it? It's a forge. Yes, it is a forge coming in right now. Now, this is why I like to put an overlord over my morphing and hatchery. I don't like sending both of them to scout. Send one to scout, send one here. And actually, wow, I was gonna say that Vito Corleone is gonna allow the hatchery to start to build and then throw up cannons behind it and cancel it or kill it in some way. He's just blocking off is what he's doing. He's blocking off NJC's attempts to expand fairly well. Another drone coming in and gonna toss down that Nexus. No, gets blocked. Oh, and the pylon comes down. Oh, Vito Corleone, he was so friendly in the start of this game. He's being so mean to the Zerg player right now. All right, so you're going to expand where now, NJC? What are you doing? Is he just scouting? Is he going to ninja expand way across the other side of the map with his drone? Seems possible. Seems possible. And that's a cannon. That is a cannon on the way. So just now getting a spawning pool up is NJC. Do you need to deal with this cannon while it's morphing in? Do you want to bring some drones off the line to handle it, or do you just want to let it go? Because it's not necessarily killing anything if it completes. Another pylon from Vito Corleone. Ah, proxy hatch response from NJC. He tosses it down just outside the bottom of the ramp for Vito Corleone. So, I don't know. Vito does not see that. No? Nope, he doesn't see it. Has no idea it's there. Some really aggressive pylon blockings and things from Vito Corleone here. On the other side of it, NJC going with the proxy hatchery on the other side of the map. I was wondering where that drone was going, and now I know. And now I know. And knowing is half the battle. Trying to kill this probe that's running around the main base of NJC. No, he survives with 2 hit points. No, gets picked off at the last second by a drone. And the other ones are like, ah, we give up. And then one drone had the bravery to say, no, we're killing this probe. And then he did. So that was cool. That was pretty cool. So essentially stuck on one base is NJC. Corleone is cannoning up back at home. He is creating a sentry here to wall off against early lings. So I like what we're doing. The follow-up is going to be important, though, for Vito. All right, so this hatch going to pop, and at some point, Protoss player is going to figure out there's a Nexus right on his front door. Not now, mind you. Not now. Another hatch coming up for NJC, having a hard time spending his money, possibly? I guess that seems possible. Roach Warren coming in as well. So proxy hatch ready to go. There's surprise! Surprise, there's a hatchery here. All right, so the sentry's going to go ahead and try to burn it down with a tickle cannon. Not going to really work that well. Spine crawler immediately built by a drone, popping from that very hatchery, and a queen on the way at the same time. Can the sentry stop this spine crawler from popping? Is that building? Nope. It's very, very slowly will be killing it. Might eventually get it, actually. DPS on the tickle cannon a little bit better than I thought. But a queen comes out. Run, sentry, run! Run, mothership core! Let's see. What do you want to do here if you were the Protoss? Maybe put a pylon right here and photon overcharge in there. Is the range enough to hit that hatchery is the question. Enough to hit the queen? I don't know. But NJC is setting up shop, man. That sentry is that spine crawler is very hurt thanks to the sentry. Double Stargate coming up. Is this our classic cannons into void ray stuff that we've been seeing so much on the channel in the lower level games? Spine crawler. Oh, can hit the high ground thanks to the presence of that overlord. And Mothership Core trying to finish it off. Should be able to get it here eventually, assuming the queen doesn't assist. The queen is not assisting. Come on, NJC. Get that queen up there. And one of the spine crawlers is taken down by the Mothership Core. Excellent job. Excellent job. Another spine crawler roots and Adept does get killed. Oh, that range on the spine crawler is so good. Ka-chunk. Ka-chunk. Spine crawler eternally poking away. Giant holes appearing in the gateway. That's not actually the case. Not yet. Anyway, more drones being popped up here by NJC. Not doing anything, though. He might have overestimated how many drones he needs over here. So maybe he's going to long-distance mine. Yep, long-distance mining from this third base on the left side of the map. Queens assisting with their DPS to take down this gateway. Stalker trying to get some shots off on that spine crawler, but no. Oh, also tried to throw up a creep tumor going up this ramp. There are cannons, so good luck with that one. All right, so cannons could hit the queens for a second there. A range of 7 on the tentacle and a range of 7 on the photon cannons. So they both have equal range. Neither one has advantage over the other one. An oracle coming in from Vito. That's interesting. Stalker trying to get some shots off on that overlord, pushing it back anyway. And a Nidus. Did he go? When did he go lair? He went lair. So he's going Nidus. What units does he have to get up here anyway? It looks like he has some roaches he can toss in. Has some roaches, making another spine crawler on the low ground to support this Nidus worm. And there we go. The sound that no Protoss likes to hear. It is a Nidus network popping a Nidus worm inside the base. There are 5 roaches inside the base now. It is low econ, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a huge roach army. A cancel on the Nexus. Vito loses his natural because of the cancel. Roaches trying to walk inside the main. No, getting force fielded out. Sentry says, Then the sentry dies. In the process, photon overcharge comes up. The roaches get away from that for sure. Trying to kill the stalker is what they should be doing, but they're hanging out in the corner. Mothership Core could kill one of these roaches pretty low on HP. Stalker is in range to take down the Nidus worm without getting hit by the spine crawlers, but worried about the roaches moving on inside the main. Oracles are here using pulsar beam against roaches. Not generally encouraged, but when desperate times, you need desperate measures, and the roaches do get cleaned out. All right, so bit of a hold there by Vito Corleone. It's 1 base to 1 base, except NJC is long-distance mining for his second. So I don't know, like the income is going to be fairly even. Protoss is actually a little bit higher, actually. Gas income about 300 for each, 22 harvesters each, but the income for the Protoss player a bit higher. Oracle's trying to move on in here to this main base of NJC, but a Spore Crawler pops just in time. Oracle's trying to take it down with Pulsar Beam, and is there enough DPS on these things to make this thing happen? They're running out of energy, though. 1, 2, got it! Got it! Oh, there's a Queen on the way, too, but in the meantime, a lot of dead drones at this point in time. Queen does manage to pop out, and getting some shots off on those Oracles is exactly what she needs to do. Cannons hitting roaches as they're trying to move across the map from their main base. Not enough to kill them, necessarily. Queen's Spine Crawlers at the front, trying to do their damage, trying to take down a pylon. It's just not going to be enough. Unfortunately, Photon Overcharge pylon can hit that spine and then stop for a second there. I don't know if the spine moved out of range or what. Stalker says, all right, you're not going to root. I'll go ahead and poke you in the face with my particle disruptor. Zap, zap, zap. And they were forced to go away. I think the Stalker could really take down these drones that are long distance mining and assist immensely in winning this game, but nope. Not there. All right, so moving in with the roaches. Bunch of roaches at the front door. About 7 of them. 6 or 7, I would say. Going after pylons. Bam. Pylon gone. Maybe perhaps going to go after cannons. Not really going after cannons. Just getting hit by cannons and photon overcharge. A lot of dead roaches here. All the roaches, in fact, get cleaned out there. Walking past 2 photon overcharged pylons and a couple cannons is just brutal, is what it is here. So did we get the Stalker? No, Stalker's not stopping this long distance mining effort. Although they really should. Stalker really should be doing that. Both players spending the money pretty well. Vito Corleone is actually floating about 800 minerals. So he is, in fact, going Void Ray. All right. Going Void Ray with the follow-up. I don't know if there's enough from NJC to stop this. I don't know if there's enough to stop this Void Ray, at least from breaking the front door, right? At least from doing that. It's just he's so heavily invested in roaches. He does have some Ravagers now. Does NJC. Excellent decision there. Void Rays, yep, locking this thing down. Locking down this little forward base that NJC has set up, and it's just gonna, there's nothing here to stop this. There are no queens, there are no spore crawlers. Drones getting picked out of the ground. 9 have been killed so far. Checking for bases, don't see them. Ravagers, it's time to go. Corrosive Bile landing, trying to kill those cannons. Can't quite do it. There is a stasis ward at the top of the ramp. I think you just have to go, man. Corrosive Bile's trying to hit these Void Rays, but they're just too fast. Just too fast here. 1 Ravager dies. Roach getting hit as well. There's the stasis ward. Oh, no. Preventing. No, and that's it. A low good game out of NJC. Happy face. Wait. I don't know what that is. Either way, Vito Corleone throws something out, and NJC is defeated. Vito Corleone is victorious. Hey-o. Hey-yo. Oh, goodness gracious. That was a good one. I know it was 9 minutes. Those of you who are like, oh, this is not actually cheese. You know what? It was. We had hatch blocks with pylons into forward hatcheries, into cannons, into Void Rays, into Oracles, into Phoenix, and the Stasis Ward, I think, saved the day there. Again, it was just the lack of anti-air for NJC that really killed him. The transition into Stargate actually worked, you guys. Actually worked in one of these games. All right, so that was a good one. Let's go ahead, take a break, and we'll be back with the next game in just a second. Welcome back to our cheese. Oh, Worker Rush. In the bottom left side of Overgrowth, the Ladder Edition, we have the red Terran player. It is Tiger Claw moving across the map with all of his SCVs. And in the top right side of the map, we have the blue Protoss player. It is Prism, having no idea this is coming whatsoever. So, I mean, who's going to scout a Worker Rush, honestly? I guess the probe's moving out pretty early for Prism. Happy New Year, says Prism. This must have been played closer to the start of the New Year, or possibly Chinese New Year, which is actually fairly recent. And does he see it is the question. I don't know if he saw it. I'm not always paying attention to the vision of my workers when I'm scouting like that. Happy New Year, says Tiger Claw. Hey-o. Moving in with the SCVs, coming right on up to this mineral line, and it is an action moment. Dun, 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 getting on in here. And haha, says Prism, laughing out loud. Again, SCVs do so well in this situation, is why you don't see many worker rushes from other units, but there it is. So many dead probes. A lot of SCVs dying as well, but severely outnumbered at this point. Actually, is it 4 to 6 harvesters, 6 to 3 harvesters? Oh! Protoss, is he going to win this thing? He might actually win that Worker Rush. Wow! Prism gets it done. Tiger Claw rage quits. And Prism is victorious. So, a bit of a switch up. Switch up there. SCV rush from Terran against Protoss, and this time Protoss wins. Huh. Prism doesn't even say anything. He just goes back to working. Not worried about it. I have a gateway on the way. My opponent has absolutely nothing. Probe in here scouting that out to be sure, and just bails 1 minute in. 1 minute in for a little win there. Fantastic, fantastic one. All right, so that was good. We'll come back with another one in just a second. Welcome back to our cheese compilation. This is going to be a game between Elithidon and Crunch on Vani Research Station. In the bottom side of the map, we have the red Terran player. It is Elithidon from Easy. And in the top side of the map, we have the blue Terran player. It is Crunch. So a TVT here. Some good potential for cheese. Cheese compilation number 2 had a lot of cheesy stuff in the TVT matchup for whatever reason. It was proxies. It was a lot of Banshee. A lot of like one base Cyclone crazy stuff going on as well. So we'll see what we get out of these players. We do have Reaper names ready to go. There are 2 chances here for Reaper openings or possibly Mass Reaper. Haven't actually seen that in a while. Let's put that production tab up, shall we? That's missing for reasons I don't understand. Moving out, SCV heading north for Team Red. Team Blue is not scouting at all, which I find suspicious. Throwing down a barracks on the top of the ramp. Same thing here for Elithidon. And meanwhile, just happily mining. I don't see much sign of cheese here, but perhaps we will get to it. We will get to it shortly. Dun, 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 dun. Refinery on the way for Crunch. Already completed for Elithidon. So it looks like they're doing the same thing, just Elithidon's a little bit ahead on everything that they're both trying to do. SCV harassing the SCV, building the barracks for Crunch. Another of his friends comes over to assist. And that's all you got to do. Just bring one more over to shut it down. You can shut it down pretty handily that way. And if you're lucky, you might actually get to kill the SCV. Other person's not paying attention. Not paying attention. Dead SCV. Dead SCV. All right, in production, we do have a Reaper. So it is a Reaper coming out. All right, let's take a look here. Oh my gosh, I actually do have a really, really long Reaper name for this one. Let's take a look. Reaper name. Here we go. This Reaper's name is going to be Alex the Ninth, one of the descendants of Alex. This man was blackmailed by the few remaining Mobius Core fanatics. They have taken his brother Jeremy and threatened to infest him with the Zerg. Follow. With the Zerg. Where is it? Evolutionary virus if he did not join their Reaper program and sneak into the Dominion's secret science base beneath the main base of the Terran player. To do this, he would need to kill SCVs, and with the help of his special warp grenades, steal the computers within them, and with said computers, he would easily be able to enter the Dominion network because it is known that every SCV pilot uses the word password as their password, to Valerian's disappointment, of course. Once in, he would need to wait 7 minutes from the codes to download. After this, he must go into the Terran player main base and fake his own death. Once they are convinced he is dead, he will be incinerated, as is Dominion protocol, but he will surprise the poor staff that would try to incinerate him and kill them with his special training. Once this is all done, all he has to do is blend in and get to the secret elevator in the command center. So what this Reaper must do is have the good ending and is not die, kill 2 SCVs, and after the 2 kills live for 7 minutes. That didn't happen. And after this, go into the Terran main base and die, and holy chamoli. That was, I think that was the first time a Reaper name list, or a Reaper name from the list, was actually longer to say than the Reaper survived. Yep, I think that's the first time. So let's see. Elithidon lost an SCV and a Reaper killed an SCV of his own. So not the most efficient and effective there, I can tell you this much. So moving out with his barracks is Elithidon, going multiple factory here. Okay, so 1 base triple factory from Elithidon. So this might be what we've been waiting for here. Reaper opening is not super cheesy for sure, just more standard than anything else. Crunch going for a more standard expansion here, which actually just did get started by Elithidon, but this 3 factory opening could be very interesting. Could be interesting indeed. So what do we got? We got these factories wrapping up. This factory is not doing anything right now, which I'm very concerned about. If you have one, you need to be using it. Tank. All right, so tank out of that one. This factory just finished. Going to toss down a tech lab on that one, and this factory is building on top of a reactor. So maybe something like a Cyclone tank push could be really good. Could be pretty good here out of our Red Terran player Elithidon. Elithidon, I'm going to say. That sounds fantastic. All right, so tank in production. Yep, Cyclone in production for Elithidon as well. And other factory really needs to start making a tank, but he's so mineral starved right now Gotta keep making them SCVs, dude. I don't see any SCVs in your production tab, but I suppose maybe you cut workers to go for this kind of thing. But if you're going for this kind of thing, you gotta be consistently building. I mean, it's a two-edged sword at this point. So, all right. So we got double pumping a Cyclone and a Hellion. Tank there, almost tank here, almost enough for a tank. 150 minerals. No, what did he do? He did make a tank. All right. So it's gonna be a mech push. It's time to go, and he's moving up with a tank, a Cyclone, and a Hellion. What can we defend against? If we are crunch on this one, we are looking at an engineering bank, bunch of barracks, a single factory doing nothing right now. So he does have actually a group with Marines, a Marauder, and an SCV hanging out on the bottom side of this main base, strangely enough. Moving out with a Marine to scout things, to see what is going on the south side of the base. But surprise, a Lithodon is at your front door, and here he comes. Here he comes. Is he coming up? Is he doing this thing? Let's move. Let's move a Lithodon. Moving up with the tank first of all. Going to set up in siege mode. Too far away to hit anything, as it turns out. Going to try to kill a Marine. They do get the Marine, but the high ground units for blue chase them away at the same time. So tank needs to set up in a position where they can actually hit something at the top of this ramp. Is what you got to do. Maybe this tank. That's his job. Tank, why are these Marines rallied to weird places? Wow, it actually blew his body up onto the high ground. That was a really fun death animation. Where are these rallied to dumb places? Is that what the problem is here? Tank versus tank. And they are getting shots off, but a Lithodon's got the shot off first. It looks like they're... No! Blue tank wins it, but does get finished off here by the Hellions and the Cyclones. Tank setting up. Does he have the ability to see what is up there? He does not have that ability to see what is up there because of the high ground. Widowmine mixed in here at the same time. This is a pretty strong little mech push here out of a Lithodon. Widowmine burrowing right on the high ground, providing sight and being invisible. Oh, good job there. Excellent choice there by a Lithodon. Taking down supply depots, supply blocking crunch. That's exactly what you want to do. Exactly what you want to do here. No, crunch is just making Marines. He is making another tank, but it's taking a long time to get here, you guys. Super long time. Just a slow siege tank push. The Hellions are here in case Marines decide to make a break for it. And they are. Widowmine fire. Boom. Getting some damage. Not as much as you would want, I would assume. Hellions trying to roast these Marines up. There are 4 of them. Cyclone being used, hopefully, against the Marauder. And yes, it is. Wow. Evisceration there by a Lithodon. Just destroying everything that was left. It's 30 to 31 Harvester, but 70 to 37 supply. A Lithodon moving in. A tank finally does pop, but gets taken down. Marines coming out as well, and that's it. A good game out of crunch. So good little one-base mech push. They're out of a Lithodon. I guess it was 2 base. It was 2 base, but still very aggressive indeed. He was down in worker count for sure. So if he lost that thing, he was in trouble. So good job there by a Lithodon getting the win with the mech strategy, and we will be back with our next one in just a second. Welcome back, StarCraft fans, or Cheese Compilation. This is going to be another game, this time between Andre and Eric on Habitation Station, the Ladder Edition. I don't know if this is a really weird coincidence or not, but there is an Eric Andre show on Adult Swim on Cartoon Network. Yeah, I think that's where Adult Swim is. And it's a really weird show. It's basically a talk show where Eric Andre tries to make the guests really uncomfortable and try to leave. If you're not easily offended, go ahead and look up the Eric Andre show on YouTube and then you'll see what I'm talking about. I assume this is a ladder game because it's red versus blue, but Andre and Eric, that is super weird. Super weird. All right, so on the top right side of the map, we have the red Terran player. It is Eric. And on the top left side of the map, we have the blue Protoss player. It is Andre. Again, that's just going to be in the back of my mind this entire time. So now our question becomes, who is the cheeser here today? Who is going to be the one to be cheesing? It's a gasless opening out of Eric, so I'm going to assume it's something that he has planned. There we go. There's the proxy barracks. Proxy barracks coming in for our friend, the red Terran player named Eric. And we'll see what he's going to do. We'll see what he's going to do with this thing. The proxy could be enough to win the game in the first few minutes here, and it could not. Probe Scout says, what up? There's not a barracks here. There's no gas. What is going on? Immediately be prepared. I might also cancel that Nexus. I don't know if I would throw down a Nexus. Oh, I don't know if I would. In a situation where I saw that the Terran player had nothing in his base. Maybe you could assume he's bad. But this is proxy barrack stuff again, you guys. We saw this. We saw this in game number 1. We'll see if the Protoss player can handle it a little bit better this time around. And not that the Protoss player in game number 1 handled it poorly. I feel like he might have even had it. he left a little bit early. Maybe he was afraid of what was going on and decided to tap out. I don't know. Fear can be a strong thing for sure. So these 3 racks are getting up. This little probe friend might scout what's going on. He taps the sound like a watchtower, heads directly back home and says, "What up? What up? There are 3 barracks at my front door. There are Marines here as well. Juke for your life. Get out of there. Run. Go to the gold base. Perhaps you'll be safe." Nope, there's a Marine chasing you for your delicious, juicy, murdery goodness. And that's going to be the end of you. I mean, you are faster, I think, than a Marine, but if you just stick in a corner, you're definitely going to die. So what do we got here from the Protoss player? Making additional gateways. Gateway. So basically 4-gating this thing with an expansion. Surprisingly enough. What's going on? There we go. That's what I'm looking at here. Okay, so while we have a bit of a second here, I do want to thank Kieran and Dawn for screening these replays. I didn't mention their names previously because I could not be remembered to do so. But Kieran and Dawn, thanks again for being a screener. If you want to be a cheese screener or a screener for anything else that I do, send me an email to falconpaladin@gmail.com with the subject of a screener. Meanwhile, these Marines are going to town, man. There is nothing here for the Protoss player whatsoever. He's making a zealot, but man, good stutter step action on these Marines. Again, much better than what we saw in the first game. Mothership core photon overcharge does come up, and the Marines do not get out of range. Run, get out of the range. Oh, so many dead Marines there. Only a couple left now. 3 of them on the ground. More in production. A lot of dead probes, but still only 13, 14 to 18. Andre is not dead, you guys. Not dead at this point. 3 Marines trying to take down a Mothership core. Zealot getting right on top to assist with the DPSing. There we go. More Zealots coming in. This should not work at the higher levels, but I'm going to assume this is not a pro-level game. That is for sure. If this was Bjorn's Marines, none of them would be dead. I'm going to assume that. All right, so there we go. Some step action. Keeping the Marines alive temporarily. It just takes a lot of discipline as they do kill 1 of the Zealots and the 2 probes that are mining happily at the expansion here. They were a little bit over-aggressive, so I mean, maybe confident is a better word there. A little bit confident. Marine comes up the ramp, gets murdered by some Zealots. That is such a great death animation right there. Zealots trying to do a ring around the rosy here and catch these Marines that are trying to kill the Nexus. A Stalker comes in. Yes, that is what you need, Andre. Good job getting some range. And I would have also accepted an Adept, but the Marines stopped moving, so they're completely dead there now as well. Some Marines did pop out of these proxy barracks and come back home because that was really scary for a minute there. Why did you stop making Marines? Guess he expanded, but he still has a ton. There we go. A ton of money and available supply to do it. So there we go. Now making 4 Marines in the process. But at this point, Andre knows what is up. He knows there's Marines coming. He knows what he needs. I guess what he first needs to do is destroy his unbuildable plates. That's definitely what he's going for here. All right. So we got 4 barracks. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are making a Marine out of them. He's not supply blocked at all. Dude, you have 300 minerals in the bank. There we go. Using it. Using that money. Using the money. Stalkers, Zealots. Stalkers now warping in. Oh, it's a slow warping because he used the pylon that was not touching the Nexus. There we go. Second time he learned from his mistake. A sentry. Ooh, force field action at this low. I don't know about this, but expanding is Eric at the gold base. Gold base expansion here out of Eric. Marines, time to go. Time to go up this ramp. This is no place for cowards. Photon overcharge. Go and murder your face, though. There it is. Photon overcharge. Sentries keeping knocking the Marines away. Stalkers finishing them off. They don't even get the pylon. Pylon gets 6 kills. And the Marines are forced to retreat. Time for the barracks to go. Barracks, head on back home. Sparking all the way. Sparkity, spark, 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 spark. And that's it. Eric lost. I don't think he can come back from this. He's down 28 to 22 harvesters. I mean, I know, okay, let's be real. It's Terran, right? No matter how far you're down, you have a chance. And Terran, maybe it's not a big one, but you have a chance. Expanding to this gold base right next to Andre's base is absolutely wonderful as well. I mean, if Terran comes back, it's gonna be because of this little action here. So Andre playing extremely defensively. And as is Eric, landing his barracks at this point in time. What do we got, Andre? You got a big gateway army. And it was a good try, says Eric. Lol. Does he know he's dead? I don't know if he is dead. I really don't. Let's take a look at the units tab here. We have a Zealot, 5 Stalkers, 2 Sentries versus 6 Marines. Okay, if Andre moves across the map right now, he wins the game. However, he's not doing that. He is allowing Eric to get income from this gold base. I mean, it's a planetary fortress upgrade as well, which is super fun. Super mega incredibly fun. I mean, both players are hanging out. Someone make a move. Finish somebody off. Mothership Core says, oh, he's gone. He gone. All right, time to move out, says Andre. If I don't have to defend anymore, it is time to push out across the map. I'm going to try to kill these supply depots. Surprisingly, killing all 3 of them will not supply block the Terran player. He has 93 available supply, well, 85 out of 32. So, yeah, he had 93 when this all started, but he is currently, unfortunately, down to 69, but still has tons of available space. Tons of available space here. And Andre is still pushing, still going to push, still moving out here, still making Marines. Is Eric not getting tanks, not getting a bunker? Does it feel like he can't tech here? Does he not have enough time? Seems supremely possible is what it seems, that he feels that way. All right, so moving on out. We got the sentries. They're slower than everybody else. Stalkers are here. Not moving. Dude, what is going on? He just lost the Stalker for no reason. And another one, too, here. But there we go. Force fields keeping some of the Marines away from the battle. Sentries using their DPS as well. Zealot wants to attack, but cannot. Mules being caused down to hopefully mess with the AI of the Protoss player. More Marines are popping out all the time. Are the Mules attacking? Wait, can they attack? They can't attack. They cannot attack, but bam, that's it. Good game from Eric. Eric is defeated, and Andre is our winner. Woo! That was a good one. So a little failed proxy barracks action there. Did not get the win. This time around, Protoss player held that extremely well. Good use of Photon Overcharge, good use of Stalkers and of Sentries, and got the win. So that was good. We'll move on to the next one here in just a second. Hey, more cheese! This is going to be a game between Minato and Barcode on Vani Research Station. So in the bottom side of the map, we have the red Zerg player. It is Minato from Cascade Gaming. And in the top side of the map, we have the blue Protoss player being very sneaky and going by Barcode, so that nobody knows who they are. This could be Showtime. This could be Neeb. This could be Petite Drogo. This could be any number of players who play Protoss at this high level of StarCraft 2, because this is a GM game. Did pay attention to the loading screen that time. GM on this one. So I'm expecting some good stuff out of this game. Do not disappoint. Minato versus Barcode. Moving out. Couple probes. Some very sneaky probes. As a matter of fact, what are they going to do is the question of the day. There's a forge coming in for Barcode, so this is a straight-up cannon rush. Straight-up cannon rush here. Again, you can't wall off this ramp with pylons because this unbuildable bricks thing is here. But you can sneak around the outside. Pylon on the low ground. Pylon on the low ground. Is he going to bring a Mothership Core down for... It's better against Terran, right? Because they wall off up here. You can photon overcharge stuff. This Slover Lord sees this. Bit of a lucky scout there by Minato, I would say. This probe's trying to knock down hatchery there as well. And cannon coming up on this low ground. And another pylon coming up here. Holy shamoly, aggression. Nope, canceling and replanting somewhere else. He wants to kill that spawning pool if he can. But here come the drones. Here come the drones. The drones make it so that you can't just put cannons anywhere you want. You have to slowly push forward in a place where your cannons are protected from drones while they're being warped in. So that's exactly the problem that Barcode is dealing with here. There's a cannon. Should be able to hit that extractor, which is nice. Very nice. And Barcode's investing a whole ton into this thing. Another one. Another pylon at the natural base of Minato. He doesn't see that one. Because building hatcheries have the eyesight of like a bat. Just super blind bat person. So this pylon should be able to power a cannon that can kill the spawning pool. What is the response from Minato here? He's getting a Roach Warren. He's making a Queen. But there we go. Cannon hitting that extractor. He wants to... There we go. Throwing a cannon up to hit that spawning pool. That's what he wants to do. He wants to kill the Zerg player. Minato seems very unconcerned by all of this. I can't believe he's not making any lings at all. But he's pretty much contained by cannons at this point. So we'll see. We'll see how this works out for Barcode. He's being very consistent with it as well. This cannon can hit the hatchery at the expansion. Another one coming up as well, just on the edge of the creep. Just barely getting there. And this might be it. I don't know how Minato comes back from this. He loses that spawning pool. He needs a lot of roaches to make this thing happen is what he needs to do. He's losing drones because this cannon can actually hit the drones in the mineral line. That's nuts. That is crazy time. He's effectively taken out 2 of the mineral patches that Minato can mine from. He just lost them altogether here. Cannon warping in. 2 cannons here. Ravager's coming in for Minato. Okay, so Ravager is going to be the play. It's 18 to 19 harvesters. You're saying Minato is so behind, but he's not. He's not. He still has 2 bases. He still has 19 harvesters right now. Roaches, Ravagers trying to clear out the infestation, and he does get it. He shuts it down when his hatchery has 263 hit points remaining. Beautiful play indeed. Monado trying to push in here and end this thing. Corrosive Biles landing on one of the pylons, and they can hit it. Oh, with their extra range of 6. They can hit that pylon without taking damage from a cannon. Beautiful. Beautiful out of Monado. Corrosive Biles landing down, trying to kill a cannon there. Is it enough? Yes, depowers one of the cannons and then moves in for the kill on that cannon. 20 to 21 harvesters. Happily mining again is Monado with his 2 bases. Again, it's a 1 base back home for Barcode. He can't afford to do much else. Is it a Stargate follow-up? Is that what you're doing, man? Because it sure seems like that's what Protoss always do when they cannon rush here. Trying to get rid of the pylon. And the answer is yes, gets the pylon. Depowering both of those cannons. And trying to take everything out without losing a single Ravager, I believe, is the play here for Monado. Corrosive Biles landing there as well. Roaches on the warpath as well, helping to get rid of these depowered photon cannons. Corrosive Biles hitting that cannon, taking it out. Photon cannons are good against non-stationary or non-movable objects. Against stationary objects, they're fantastic. It is air weapons level 1 for Barcode, so the follow-up, again, is going to be air stuff out of our Protoss player. And moving out is Monado. He mad. He's going to expand, right? He's going to take a 3rd base here, and then he's going to expand. Oh, proxy Stargate from Barcode. What? Double proxy Stargate here by the gold base on the south side of the map. He's going to try to get in there with Oracles or Void Rays or something. And you know what? He could probably take out that natural base. The only anti-air here is a single queen. He needs to stay alive long enough to do it is the problem. I don't know if he can. These Ravagers and Roaches moving up the map right now. Monado scouting this out with his Sloverlord says, all right, I don't really see anything that's going to challenge me from going up this ramp, so let's do it. Corrosive Biles tossing down on these pylons, going to depower the Cybercore, the Gateway, and the Forge. That is one very important pylon. In production for Barcode is nothing. I don't think he's going to have enough to make anything out of those Stargates when all is said and done. Ladies and gentlemen here, so taking pylon down, probes coming in, probes against Roaches and Ravagers is just not a good one. Not a good one to see. Trying to get that surround, though. Mothership Core coming in to assist with some of her DPS. And they actually managed to clean this out. Wow. They lose 11 probes, but Roaches on the way out. Actually, they're not dead yet. They're not dead yet. I called that a little bit soon. They are still trying to harass these probes. Mothership Core wants to photon overcharge them, but doesn't have a pylon able to do that thing. We do have Oracles coming in. Double Oracle from Barcode moving into this natural base. There's a queen. But that is it. That is absolutely it. Roaches moving back into this mineral line, trying to kill as many probes as they can. Mothership Cores just don't do much damage to them, is what we're experiencing. So Oracle swinging on in. Pulsar Beam on a queen. Is there enough DPS to take down the queen before? Yes, there is enough. Enough energy left, however, to kill drones. Not a lot. Not a lot, as it turns out. Trying to Pulsar Beam their way to killing another queen here, and they get it. Oh, the Oracle's looking good, killing a lot of drones, trying to get rid of the Spore Crawlers, morphing in there as well. Roach is finally out, but there are only 10 probes remaining for the Protoss player, which is not a good look at all. Spore Crawler chasing away this Oracle. The other one that's so low on health also runs away. Spore response from Monado has been good. It has not been perfect, but it has definitely been good. All right, continuing here, we do have Lings moving out to take down the Stargates. Oh, no. The Oracles should be able to handle that, though. Their Pulsar Beam is really good against Zerglings. Void Ray coming in. They're going to try to take down the pylon before anything happens. And the answer is anything happening is the Oracle cleaning out every one of these Lings. But is there enough DPS to get the pylon? They get the pylon. Oh, and Barcode leaves the game. Leaves the game on that one. Ouch. Beautiful hold by Monado. Got cannon in a really tough spot, but again, didn't panic. Got some Roaches, got some Ravagers. Recognized the cannons cannot build on creep. Almost lost his natural there. Was able to take that to save it before all was said and done. Had 4 bases by the time we were done with this game. So good counterattack. Good job holding off the Oracles. Good job setting some Lings to take out future Stargate production. And that's it. So great job. Good one by Monado. And we'll move into the next game in just a second. Welcome back, StarCraft fans. It's Falcon Paladins Cheese Compilation number 3, and this is going to be Techmaster versus Teaser on Overgrowth, the latter edition. In the top right side of the map, we have the red Protoss player. It is Teaser. And in the bottom left side of the map, we have the blue Zerg player. It is Techmaster. So a ZVP here. Have we had a ZVT cheese yet? I don't know that we have, strangely enough. All right, anyway, here we go. We're looking at a ZVP on Overgrowth, the ladder edition. And again, this one is it's a higher level one. I believe it's diamond based on the loading screen. I guess I tried to save some of those towards the end, but regardless, moving out here is Teaser. Gonna throw down the early Forge. Ah! Why? Why must you cannon so much, Protoss players? I remember I always say we don't see much cannoning, but apparently we do. We see more than I ever expected there to be. So going for the hatch first here out of the Zerg player, Techmaster from Dreams, where the A is a 4. It's very elite of you, Techmaster. I guess that makes sense, doesn't it? All right, so is he going Forge Fast Expand here? I mean, you got the Forge. Oh, no, he's down here with this probe. Okay, there we go. Throwing down a pylon just outside the natural base of Techmaster. Again, Techmaster cannot see this. This is why I like to put Overlords over my hatchery as I'm building it, so you can see this stuff as it's happening, and then come with drones and shut it down. But as it stands, Techmaster might straight up just lose that hatch, which seems like a bad thing. Spawning pool coming in for the Zerg player. Extractor is done. Gas happily harvesting from that, and Teaser's actually expanding behind this. So I think his goal might be to kill the expansion of Techmaster while having expansion of his own, and a 2-base Protoss can take down a 1-base Zerg with both hands tied behind their back and blindfolded. I've seen it done. I've seen it done. There it is, cannon up, and whoop, taking down that there hatchery. I like how it hits different parts of the hatchery. There's the cancel, Techmaster, good response. Cancel and rebuild elsewhere. That's all you gotta do. This is a map with a lot of places to expand, as most maps actually have those places to expand. There you go, taking it to the right of his natural base instead, which we've seen players do all the time anyway. I mean, it's not like taking your natural base down here is a big deal. It's going to be later than it would otherwise be, but it's not dead. And the question is, does Teaser want to try to cannon this out, or is he just going to head on back home? It looks like he's heading back home. He's not going to worry about that. Maybe checking to see if the gold has been taken by Techmaster as well, but it has not. So I do like the awareness that Techmaster has, or Teaser has, rather, to try to scout different areas and see what is going on. What is going on with his opponent and where he could possibly be. Zerglings are here. Only 2 Lings are here to scout out this 3rd base location. And, oh, did they not see that pylon? They see the pylon. Go get it. Lings, go get the pylon. Okay, he finally noticed on his mini-map there was some red. Nope, just kidding. He's going the other way. All right, I guess he's not worried about a cannon. I just don't know what he can do at this front door. There's a cannon here. There's a zealot here. Zealot's moving on down as well. Some overlords are finally scouting in for Techmaster. My brain wants to say Taskmaster. It's just not the same thing. It is not the same thing at all. Finally, the Lings come down. It's probably too late, though. Dude, he canceled. No, Techmaster, why? Why did you cancel that? I don't understand what the Zerg player is doing here. Alright, so cannon finishes, kills a Ling that took the wrong path, going right by that cannon. Zealot comes in and says, wait, there was a hatchery morphing here just a second ago. Where on earth is it? And the answer is, I do not know. I do not know, nor can I tell you. So where's this dude? Oh, so is Techmaster going to take his natural base up at Teaser's 3rd base? Seems like a possibility. Stargate follow-up for Teaser. Man, cannons into Stargate, you guys. If you're Protoss, you're not doing this. Apparently, you're missing out. Apparently, you're missing out on a lot of fun stuff that can happen. Dun 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 dun. Roaches, Spine-Crawler, Queens. That's what we have back in Techmaster's base, going for a lair. Lair upgrade about 4 minutes in. Not the fastest lair I've ever seen, but pretty quick. Pretty quick. And considering he's on 1 base as well and does not have an expansion. You have so many minerals. You have 845 minerals, dude. Expand somewhere. You gonna try to beat this dude with 1 base? Is that what you're trying to do? Again, remember what I said. Remember what I said about 2-basing Protoss versus 1-basing Zerg. It was just a couple seconds ago. I'm sure that you can recall it. Void Ray coming in for Teaser. Additional gateways up as well. Just spending his money so well. Up 34 to 23 harvesters. Again, on 2 bases. Very nicely split are his workers between the 2 bases. I keep waiting for Techmaster to throw down a hatchery here, but he refuses to do so. This has got to be a Nidus. There we go, Nidus. I was going to say, there's nothing else Techmaster can do here except for Nidus. He's not breaking that front with roaches. Not going to happen. But if he can get in through the back, possibly he can make this work. There are no pylons back here, you'll notice. There's one now coming up sort of in range of that back area. So if he gets a Nidus Worm up, I don't know. That's hard. He's basically counting on Techmaster or Teaser being blind to not notice there's a Nidus Worm coming up there inside his natural base. Maybe at his main, but Void Ray taking down an Overseer that's trying to morph in, and no, it pops, gets all its energy back, and then gets killed by the Void Ray in the end. So should have just canceled that Overseer. All right, what are we putting in here? Queens. Queens going into the Nidus network. Queens, Roach into the Nidus network. The question is, where does it pop? He's doing it. He's doing it inside the natural base. And the question is, does Teaser see this in time? Where is his attention is the question of the day. He is here with his Void Rays, patrolling back and forth, trying to see what's going to come up his front. He doesn't see that thing. He doesn't. Now he sees it just as soon as it pops. Oh, no. Oh, no. Trying to get rid of the Nidus Worm. They get the Nidus Worm, but a lot of Roaches and Queens are here trying to go after the Void Rays. Queens are trying to transfusing each other as well. One Void Ray does end up falling here. Roach is doing great against these Adepts. And oh my gosh, Teaser has to abandon his natural base. Holy shamoly, ladies and gentlemen. Actually manages to hold it here. He should have thrown down a Creep Tumor, but another Nidus Worm is going to erupt here behind this. So the one base play out of Techmaster. We'll see if he can pull this off or not. More Roaches coming out of that Nidus Worm. It is a nightmare for Teaser. That's why you got to be so vigilant. So vigilant. Queens. Are there enough Queens to get rid of the Void Ray? The answer is, I don't know. There's only 2 Queens remaining here. Photon Overcharge doing a lot of work against these Roaches. Adepts and Stalkers helping out at the same time. Queens trying to take down that mothership core. Hopping back inside the Nidus network, one of them. And then popping back in. Wow, that was like a Warp Prism Micro there, except with a Nidus Worm. Very interesting move. Indeed. All right, so Roach is going after the Stargate here. Probably should kill that Pylon first, but I guess they have their attention split just a little bit there. And there he goes. Pylon ends up falling, and stuck on one base suddenly is Teaser. He's going to lose his Stargate. He's making another gateway inside his main. I'm not sure entirely what the intent of that one is. Nexus going to fall here as well for Teaser. So eventually we're going to move into a one base versus one base here, which is very interesting indeed. All right, Photon Cannon, gaboosh, exploding. We got a Forge. Not going to die. Transfuse, keeping that Queen alive. Back in the Nidus Worm. Back in the Nidus Worm. Oh, it does escape. Back into the Nidus Worm. Roach is here to kill whatever they can that's on the ground. It's going to be Adepts mostly. Queens popping out, getting killed. However, Void Rays focusing them down immediately. The Roaches say, you know what, Void Rays? Yes, you're scary, but we'll just sneak past you here. While you're trying to focus down our Queen and our Nidus Worm, they get the Nidus Worm, but the Roaches have free reign. Another Nidus Worm is popped here inside the main base. Lot of creep on the Protoss buildings right now. Probes running for their lives. A lot of dead probes, though. A lot of dead probes. 11 dead probes thus far. Roaches kind of playing back and forth. Hopping back inside the Nidus Worm. Can they all escape? No! 2 of them left behind. But they will probably kill some probes in the process, which is nice. Which is nice for them, having something to do, or just run away entirely. All right, so they're running away. They don't want to deal with anything with that Void Ray. Techmaster should have been expanding behind that. Should have thrown down a hatch right there, you guys. Should have, would have, and could have done it. All right, so let's take stock. It's 21 to 37 Harvesters. Protoss player has way more workers than the Zerg, but only one base. So these long-distance mining probes are, I guess, efficient, but not incredibly. So why he expand inside his own main base, and why is he throwing down in Spore Crawlers now? I guess he knows the Void Rays are coming for him, because they're killing Overlords along the way. Another Nidus Worm coming up. The probes used to be able to kill those when they were morphing in, but not anymore, as it turns out. I don't know, probes. Whatever comes out of that is not going to be very friendly to you, and whatever comes out is going to be a bunch of Roaches. Here we go. Meanwhile, Protoss player moving into the main base here. Spine Crawler gone. Spore Crawler getting some shots off, and actually forcing the Void Rays to move around here. Roaches going to town on the natural base once again, forcing a cancel on that warping in Nexus. Our Depths versus Roaches. Yeah, they get the Spore Crawler down. One Spore Crawler ends up getting killed. The Adepts doing very well for themselves, actually. Void Ray wants to kill this Macro Hatch. Queen ends up dead at the same time. The Adepts might just be able to handle this altogether. How many larvae do you have? You have 3 larvae, not injecting super well. Meanwhile, Roaches, Nidus Worms all over the place now inside the main base again, at least temporarily. And it's Roach versus Adept. This time the Roaches have the greater numbers. which is super useful to them as they won. So this might actually turn into a base race, ladies and gents. We got 2 Void Rays and an Adept on the ground here and in the air for Teaser. Spore Crawler chasing those Void Rays away. Roach is doing very, very well. Very, very well here with the DPS against buildings. Doing the extra damage. Whew. All right, so moving back a little bit here are the Roaches just trying to poke their way in here and get a base race off the Void Rays, coming back home, recognizing we don't have anything to stop these Roaches from murdering all of our stuff. Is that the one pylon? That is the one pylon to rule them all, and it's down. Oh, cannon gone. Gateway's gone. Cybernetics core gone at this point in time. It's 12 to 16 Harvesters. Somehow left alone is Techmaster. I thought he was in a lot of trouble. He was in a lot of trouble, but I thought he was dead, is what I thought here. So Queen gets murdered by the Void Rays. Roach is back inside the Nidus Swarm. Can they all escape? They all escape this time. And they head on back home. Or at least they're inside the Nidus network at this point. So, both players are mining. Not a lot, though. I'd say not a lot. Zerg player a little bit up, 500 to about 400 minerals per minute on that one. And Roach's Queens popping out. 2 Queens here. They really need to get those Void Rays down. Transfuse is trying to keep them alive if they can. Queen going after Mothership Core. Void Rays abandoned just a little bit at this point. Queen's trying to take down that MC, and they do get it. A Transfuse keeping the Queen alive versus this Void Ray as well, but recognizing so much trouble back in the Nidus network. There we go. They get it. This one does not run and unfortunately explodes for the Zerg player, but the natural base is almost entirely cleared out, and guess what? Now it is. It is now cleared out. Teaser has nothing remaining at this point in time. Whew. Roaches popping on over to the main base of Teaser. Another Nidus Worm erupting here as well. Is this all that's left for Teaser? Void Ray? I don't know. It's a Void Ray and a Sentry and an Adept and a Zealot. I don't know where those other... Oh, here they are. They are here. Queen takes down the Void Ray. This many Roaches versus Sentries and Adepts. Not going to work out very well. Zerg player probably has this thing won. Where the heck is your Zealot? Zealot is way down here at this gold base for some reason. Not assisting at all, which is probably fine because he would just get murdered if he tried. Nidus needs skill, I must say, says Titus. Oh, says Teaser. Ouch, with the GG, the little BM at the end of the game, and calls the good game. Yeah. Woo, that was a good one. That was a good little cannon into Nidus, into Void Ray, into more Nidus, and Zerg gets the win in this weird, cheesy, again, longer than usual, but that was some pretty good back and forth action for sure on that one. So, whew. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap this one up. We'll go for one more. Might be the last one, might not. We'll have to see. But we'll be right back. Welcome back to our Tease compilation by Falcon Paladin. This is going to be a game between J Smalls and Duobit on Proxima Station. I don't think I've cast a game on this before. Huh. In the bottom left side of the map, we have the Red Terran player. It is J Smalls representing DMV. And the original Terran head from StarCraft 1 and the box art. In the top right side of the map, we have the blue Terran player. It is Duobit. All right, so a TVT here. This might be the last one I think I cast. Yeah, you know what? Let's call it the last. Let's call it the last edition of Cheese Compilation number 3. Those of you who stuck through this so far, thanks for sticking around. I mean, I know it's fun to watch Cheese, so it's not like it's super hard to do so, but if you're still here, then thanks for being here. What do we got? We got both players are going for refineries at this point in time. Sapatipo's as well. Barrick coming up for Duobit way before Barrick's attempt by J Smalls. All right, let's explore this map just a little bit. Just a teeny tiny bit here. A little narrow ramp from your main. Is there a back door? I think they're done with back doors into main bases. They just hate that so much. Ah, safe expansion. Oh, there is a back door. All right, so safe expansion here, but there are debris that can knock down, that can be destroyed and get access into your natural and then into your main. So, oh, this has got to be a hated map versus Zerg for Terran and Protoss. Your expansion, third expansion probably here. So, I mean, that's kind of a trade-off, right? Your third base and second base are pretty close by, pretty easy to hold just by holding this area right here. And then a fourth, obviously wide open. Plus, it's a gold base, very hard to access because of this debris that actually blocks it off from your third base as well. So, all right, fair enough. Fair enough. So gold bases here and here. Any more gold we need to find? I'm going to say no. No gold we need to find. It looks like Barracks out of J Smalls. Possibly could be a Reaper group. We'll keep an eye on that. But he does have double refinery early too. So I don't know what that's all about. But it is. It's a reactor on those barracks Blue Barracks player Duobit is going for a factory without, there we go, I was going to say without making anything. He is making a Marine. Okay. You feel a little bit more safe when you have a Marine ready to watch your back if anything tries to come to your front door. That's kind of what it works. Nobody's scouted at all, so obviously some concerns. We do have double refinery from both of these players. Factory coming up for the Red Terran. Blue Terran's factory is already done. Does he make use of it is the question. Again, double refinery tells me either Banshee or possibly Battlecruiser. Like, I don't want to say for sure, but that double gas opening is always very suspicious. Expanding at the safe-ish place is Duobit. Again, this can get knocked down by Marines and Marauders and get your face punched in, but against Terran, I guess drops are as much a concern anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter here. Making a lot of Marines is J-Smalls. Okay, so not double pumping Reapers as I thought he might do, which tells me he is saving up his gas. We're sitting at about 256 gas for J-Smalls and around at 464 for Duobit, depending on when I finished saying those sentences. Factory is throwing down a tech lab, and there's a starport. Okay, so we do want a tech lab on the starport when it finishes, which tells me it could just be Banshee at this point. Double starport for Duobit, though. These are very similar builds by these players. I don't know what to expect. In all honesty, APM for these dudes is about 30 for each, so not super high APM, but some pretty good decision-making so far. And they're both spending their money pretty well at the same time. J-Smalls could stand to expand right about now, but he's getting it in there. He is creating tanks. He's creating Marines and a lot of Marines. And that starport is just about to finish, and it doesn't look like we're going to put the tech lab on that starport at all, as it turns out. So instead, gonna make a reactor on the starport. So Marine tank out of J-Smalls. Again, has a lot of gas for that, but I guess too much gas is better than not enough gas for what you're trying to do. Here's the swap on the blue side of things, though. Starport landing on that tech lab, and the factory getting the heck on out of the way. So, what else is in production? Banshee? We're going to see Banshee. We're going to see Cloak. We're going to see two starports here. It does have one refinery up at his natural, does Duobit. If it's Battlecruiser, I'd like to see both refineries taken and fully saturated at this point in time, but I think he wants to get that worker count up first of all, and then he'll really start going in heavy for that gas. Barracks has a tech lab as well, and just nothing's happening for Duobit. I worry he's just going to die to this Marine tank push that J-Smalls has, because Units tab tells us there are 12 Marines for J-Smalls and a tank versus 4 Marines, period, for Duobit. Duobit, you do not have much. I'm gonna say it. You don't have much at this point in time. Engineering Bay coming up for Duobit. All right, maybe for Planetary Fortress, but I don't know on what. Oh, there's our fusion core. Okay, so there is a fusion core for Duobit. Did not notice that getting built, but here it is. Here it is. Duobit is still struggling with that mineral count. J-Small spending his money so well at the same time, but this is truly a one baser. Making a bunch of medevacs here. I think we're just going to drop. I think we're just going to see a drop out of our starporting friend here, and it is Battlecruiser operational out of Duobit. All right, so Battlecruiser rush from our player here. Medevac coming in as well, so the Marines do have some support. I'd like to see more gas. He does have both refineries, but only one SCV on each of them. Mules are being used with consistency, which is good. If you're Duobit, you need that mineral count is what you need. Is it time to drop? Is it time to go, J-Small? Is it time to go? Time to pick up, fill up 4 medevacs full of units and move right on out. With a Raven, too. Is he waiting for the Raven? Might be worried about Widow Mines. I bet he's died to Widow Mines before, and he's just thinking about that experience. The scan, will it reveal the Battlecruiser is the question. No, it doesn't reveal the Battlecruiser. He could think it's a Banshee. He could think it's a Banshee coming out of that starport, as again, I thought for a second there, but he needs more gas. Needs more gas. Throwing down those mules. Is he making more SCVs? He's not. That's a problem. He's not making more SCVs. He's trying to do this on 22 workers, which is just not enough on 2 base. It really isn't. I know to make workers takes away from your minerals in the time being, but I guess he can still pump out 2 Battlecruisers. But here comes the drop. Oh, no. And the drop's away from home. Battlecruiser needs to kill all of these Marines by his lonesome. Not going to happen. Not going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Yamato cannon on a Marine. And tactical warps like 1.5 inches does Duobit. He is so dead. He is so absolutely dead. He needs more battlecruisers to pop out is what he needs. Repair, trying to keep it alive. More SCVs desperately sprinting over to the battlecruiser to keep it alive. It is still technically not dead, but it's very close to dying. And the Marines are actually getting taken out here fairly quickly. We still have a bunch of Marines on the ground. Well, fewer now, about 6 of them. Starport building this battlecruiser wants to finish building the BC, but it's under assault by Marines, by tanks. Battlecruiser with repair. Wow, eviscerating. Wow, those absolutely died. The SCV's repairing there, but another battlecruiser pops out to join the party. Another battlecruiser coming out at the same time. Oh, the last second push. The last second arrival. Battlecruiser has 19 kills. That is a Hall of Fame battlecruiser, ladies and gentlemen. Hall of Fame. Meanwhile, the small drop of Marines by Duobit here in J-Small's main base. Enough Marines to handle this, though, even with medevac support for Duobit and no medevac support for J-Smalls, as it turns out. So battlecruisers, you know what it's time to do? It's time to warp in there. Get a repair, right? Get a repair. Why are you repairing the starport? Repair the battlecruisers. There you go. Coming to repair the battlecruisers. Probably make another one here. 400, 300. Well, nope, not anymore, because this repair is taking away so much of his money, but... All right, so do a bit. At this point, I think what you want to do is warp into the main base with your battlecruisers and just win. Just win. There are exactly 13 Marines in existence for J-Smalls, and there it is! The tactical jump inside the main base of J-Smalls. Marines trying to come in and do this thing, but there are 3 battlecruisers in the sky. Even with medevac support, that is not enough. Not enough to win that thing for sure. BC's laying waste to every Marine that comes over here. They're not exactly together, which is a problem. Which is a major problem, but tanks trying to assist, and that's it. J-Smalls is defeated, and Duobit is victorious. That was fun. That was a fun one. Good one to finish with. All right. Woo! So again, thank you so much for watching. Glad that you were here for this cheese compilation number 3. We're going to do another one. Obviously, I'm going to try to do these every 2 weeks about. I think that's going to be the schedule on these. Maybe longer if it takes longer to get replays. But again, to submit replays for the cheese compilation, send them to falconpaladin@gmail.com with the subject of cheese. I'll get them screened, get them all put together, and post it into a nice compilation, and everybody will be happy. All right, so that is going to be it from me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another edition of Cheese Compilation. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.